What's the motherfucking deal, Sauce Nation, man? I hope y'all are having a terrific Tuesday evening, man. We got plenty of sauce to spill tonight. It ain't time for the roll call, goddammit. Get that shit off there. So we're going to talk about a bunch of things, man. First and foremost, though, if you're not familiar with Sauce Sports is a Houston, Texas homer network, so that means we're talking all sports, but only Houston. We're going to cover a few things tonight. We're going to talk some Texans. We're going to give a little bit of love to the Stros. I know people were asking last night, and I told you I ain't no shit. I couldn't help you with that. So we'll get a little Stros commentary in. But we're going to talk about a couple of things and how we're going to be changing some of the stuff up, and there's some of the things we got coming up real soon. So, make sure you keep your ears open. Make sure you pay attention. We got plenty to talk about tonight, and talking about some of the changes we're going to have. But first and foremost, before we dive into all that, before we get into all that, man, I got to tell y'all about the most important thing happening in Houston right now, and that's the fresh motherfucking ingredients. Because the fresh ingredients are what bring the flavor to the sauce. And you ask, what the fuck is a fresh ingredient? You motherfucker, you the fresh motherfucking ingredient. Everybody who subscribes, show love to the sauce, man, who makes this thing what it is, who makes this thing so bearable. You know what I mean? Who makes this thing so enjoyable. I don't know if y'all caught that. That's a little shot if y'all be listening to the radio. But we're gonna talk about some things. But first and foremost, man, we're gonna get into the Sauce Nation roll call. So if you are from the city of Houston, man, shout out your side with pride. If you're not from the city, then you know what I'm saying. Let us know what to send a little bit of that digital love, man. Rep your set, rep your hood. However you identify, however you represent yourself, man. Let us know, and we'll definitely send a little bit of flavor in your direction. So first and foremost, let's while y'all put that info in there, let's see who we got in the round table with us this evening.
You got your boy Third Coast Sports TV, Wink in the building.
You got the boy from Sharpstown, Texas, Hector Flores in the mix.
Hey,
you got your boy Waz.
Breaking news, Braylon. Baseball news.
Okay.
We're gonna feel that.
So first, like I said, let's see who we got in the mix, man, so we can send some of that love. And again, y'all are the fresh motherfucking ingredients. Some of y'all have been here quite deep. Shout out to Ken. He was in here first today. No mamas. Voodoo Child. He didn't beat Miss Voodoo C today. KSA 57. Jamie Martinez, Josh Cooper, Miss Voodoo C. What's the motherfucking deal? Gaming with T Stoke. What's the motherfucking deal? Houston B. Let's see. Y'all was going hard on the gambling action. Let's shout out to. Let me make sure I miss Josh Cooper. What's the motherfucking deal? Nathan King, Asmel, Heidi. What's the motherfucking deal? Tito, Raymond Leal. What's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. Houston Homer. What's the motherfucking deal? Brandon 335, holding it down already. Let's see. Jack Tripper, the motherfucking Pimp Threes Company. It's good to see you. Let's see. Make sure we ain't missing nobody, man. Make sure everybody get their love. Lucas Gomez, what's the motherfucking deal? T Flores, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. Y'all got the farm shirt jokes. Fuck y'all. DeMarcus Johnson, what's the motherfucking deal? South Park representing. I see you. Swatting the motherfucking house. Broderick. Broderick know about the unbearable. Look, I'm bearable, man. We bearable over here, man. Shout out to Broderick Bush. He know the game. What's the motherfucking deal?
Yeah, we definitely bearable.
Let's see. Take it to Paraguay, work the farm together. Look, I put in work. King 88, what's the motherfucking deal? Fuck y'all, and fuck Arkansas. I ain't from no goddamn Arkansas. Chewy Reed, what's the motherfucking deal? What's going down? Let's see what we got. Dre Day to God, 45 in rank in Greens Point already. You know what I'm saying? The Q. Always good to see you, Joshua Grant. What's the motherfucking deal? Y'all caught that? You caught that 16 was lit? Them boys was angry. Them boys motherfucking me upset with each other. Texan boy, what's the motherfucking deal? Mr. Killer KB, what's the motherfucking deal? You know what I'm saying? Good to see all y'all, man. I'm glad everybody is falling through again. You know what I mean? So we're going to get into a couple of things. We're going to talk about some stuff that's coming up, a couple of changes we're going to make. I know a lot of y'all rock super tough with the Madden action. Did I close that out? I think I did close that out. So I know a lot of y'all rock super tough with the Madden action. And Madden will be coming out real soon. If you guys are interested in getting in a Sauce Sports Madden League, what you can do is text the Sauce line and, send your gamer tag and what platform you play on. We'll have Wink most likely running it on the box. And Wise is a PlayStation man himself, so we'll probably have Wise in charge of the PlayStation League. So we got y'all both covered, you know, even though Xbox is the superior system. You know, we'll make sure we'll make sure everybody gets some action. You know what I mean? So like I said, if you're interested in that, make sure you text the Sauce line with your gamer tag or whatever y'all call that shit on PSN, and let us know what platform that you do play on. That's one thing we got coming up soon. Also, we will be bringing back the fantasy football very soon. But we're not going to draft until
the Saturday after that preseason game. Yeah. The last preseason game is going to be on like Thursday or Friday, so we can do it on Saturday.
Okay, yeah, because like I said, we want to make sure we have everybody, you know, who is going to be healthy. We don't want to get in a situation, start drafting all early, and motherfuckers be half dead. You can't even play them and shit. So, again, like I said, if you want to be a part of that, you can email saucesports@gmail.com. That's the Sauce Sports email. And, you know, everybody's not going to make. Last year we ran a 16-team league. Didn't care for it too much. This year we'll probably run 12. But if we get enough interest, if we get enough people interested in joining in the league, then we may do multiple leagues. So we'll see how that works out. Yeah. But as of right now, what do we ran on ESPN last year? I think it was ESPN. So if that's the case, we're gonna run it back. Oh yeah, I think it's ESPN. We're gonna run it back on ESPN. And so if you want to be a part of that, make sure you email saucesports@gmail.com to be a part of that. Another thing, so we're gonna start changing up how we use the sauce line, and what it is, we want to make sure we start to reward those who utilize it, because again, the sauce line is for y'all. So what we're going to start doing now is, if you text the sauce line with a valid comment, not just no bullshit, you're going to get rewarded with 50,000 sauce. If you call in on the sauce line whenever we have the sauce line opened up, and you call in and provide some good points, again, not just trolling and on some shenanigans, we will reward you with 100,000 sauce. So just a little bit of something to give back to the people who have been utilizing the sauce, man, calling in good comments. I mean, as of late, the last few days, there's been a lot of very good calls, a lot of very good points made. And so we want to keep y'all active and utilizing that. So those are just a couple of the things that we will have coming up. And like I say, just to splash a little bit more flavor on the sauce. But, man, let's get into some things. Let's talk about what's happening with the Texans. We're going to talk a little bit about some other things that are going on in the league, you know, from a H-Town perspective, and you know, how some of the hate that they throwing, some of the shade that they throwing, and we'll talk a little bit of Astros later on in the stream. Like I say, we're going to discuss quite a few things tonight, so make sure, like I say, y'all are attentive, y'all fucking with it, because like I say, it's nothing but love. We appreciate all the flavor that y'all kick.
Hey, also, we do got some Rockets updates.
Oh, do we now? What's shaking with the Rockets there?
Apparently the Rockets have been reaching out to teams about trading Ryan Anderson's contract. A couple of teams are the Miami Heat, and been talking about a package for Tyler Johnson and James Johnson. I don't, like Tyler Johnson, but James Johnson will be a good addition to the league, offensively and defensively. That's somebody that would really help the team. Atlanta Hawks, Kent Bazemore. And I also heard about J.R. Smith.
I don't know about J.R. That nigga still high from the finals. But,
yeah.
it is what it is. So, like I say, it's all good either way, but cool. It's good to hear that they really trying to make some move and they really trying to do something with they're actively trying to get rid of Anderson. So that's good news to hear.
Hallelujah.
Because that's just dead weight, dead money. So like I say, first and foremost, we're gonna get a little nosy. We're gonna talk about something. We're gonna talk about camp. We're gonna talk about a couple of things that went down today. B.O.B. came out and said, this probably wasn't the best day of camp that they've had. He said he would have liked the energy to pick up a little bit more, and that's kind of strange, coming off an off day. Maybe it's the Virginia weather. Maybe it's something else. Who knows? But DeAndre Hopkins had some personal issues, wasn't at practice day. Maybe it wasn't his energy being there and exciting the team with all those spectacular catches, the Hopkins highlights that he brings every day. So I'm wondering, how do y'all feel? Is that a good sign? Well, not a good sign, but I mean, what do you feel that means? If the energy, if they didn't have a quality practice, again, coming off a day off, what does that kind of mean in your opinion? We'll start with Wink, go to Hector, then Wise, and then Braylon, and work our way back. How does that? I mean, how does that bode for you? What does that make you feel if you're hearing that? You know, again, it's only day 5. You just came off an off day, and the energy wasn't as crisp as it should be.
I mean, everybody entitled to have an off day. I mean, you can't expect high energy every damn day. I mean, it's been more good days than bad. If it was flip-flops, then I'd be concerned. But the fact that it's not that way, I really have no comment about it. I mean, as far as DeAndre Hopkins, he needs as much rest, and make sure that man is well rested, because we need all our playmakers to make plays when the time comes. So he's been performing on a daily basis, and he won't end up having any off days, you know. And as long as Deshaun Watson and those, you know, they have to step up when the time comes, I'm good.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I saw that about him asking what were the best wings in Atlanta. So I'm wondering what are you doing down in Georgia? Maybe he had some things to take care of. Maybe they gave him a little bit of time off as a veteran, which is something that he definitely deserves. You know, that's something we mentioned that, you know, that we haven't seen a lot in this regimen with this Houston Texans regime. Hector, again, the energy being low around camp, you know, coming off a day off, is that a bad sign in your opinion, or how do you feel? You know, is it just kind of a thing that happens, or what is your opinion on that?
I mean, it's just one day. I mean, if anything, maybe they're a little hungover from the night before. Pretty sure that's what they're doing. I mean, you know, I've worked with a football camp a few times, and I know that like whenever you get that day off, you decide to go all out, and because that's your only day off. So I mean, that's probably just it. I don't think it's a big deal. They'll probably turn it around. I'm gonna say turn up, but turn it around this for tomorrow. So it'll be fine.
Okay. All right. Okay. Wise, is that a negative, or you feel like it's just an anomaly about the energy levels at camp?
I mean, it's like it doesn't matter. It's just one day, but it doesn't matter for the veterans. For undrafted guys and guys that's on the brink of making this roster, it's a big deal. You should be coming out and making big plays. You should be out there working harder than the veterans. You should be making an impression on the coaches. So, I mean, for those guys, they should have stepped up today and took advantage of an opportunity. But other than that, it's not really a big deal. I mean, guys coming off a day off where they probably stayed out late, like Hector said, like Wink said. I mean, these guys, you don't have to go 100% all the time. We don't want any injuries. So.
Okay. Bray, your thoughts, your opinions on the energy levels being supposedly low at camp today? Excuse me.
All right, so I have to agree with Hector here. But also I have to deal with, you know, their bodies probably got to get back into the groove of having to play every day. You know, all right, so, you know, you play for like four straight days, and then after that you get a break. Then, you know, your body got to be reestablished to that. And I think Bill O'Brien's pushed them hard a little bit to get them off the start. I felt like they didn't, you know, do their stretches like they usually do. It was like a couple minutes. I don't know. That's what I saw. But it's not a negative. It's just how the way, you know, your body is.
Okay. I got a text on the sauce line. Says shout out to Honcho, Wink, Breaking News, Bray, Hector, and I believe that's Wise. Phoenix says not in the mix with us, but shout out to Phoenix. Not in the mix with you, but shout out to Chandler, always utilizing the sauce, and I always appreciate that love. So here's the deal. Today was interesting. You know, it was a very good point that you talked about. You know, the guys who normally don't have a chance to shine and who need to be a bit more focused than the veterans, being able to show up and do some things. The Jermaine Kelly Jr. was released off the PUP list today. And, you know, we saw a couple of little shots of him in practice today. One looking a little dusty, a couple of them actually making a couple of good plays. I think, I can't remember if that was Fuller who had him looking bad. No, actually it was Braxton Miller, and this actually ties in with another conversation. Braxton Miller, who kind of put a move on him, and then he actually was covering fucking Sammy, and he actually had a couple of nice plays on Sammy. So is there anything that interests you in particular about Jermaine Kelly? Do you think there's a possibility of him, you know, trying to play his way into a situation, or you think it'll be a while? You think he'll be a practice squad guy? We'll start with Bray Bray and work our way back. How are you feeling about, you know, Jermaine Kelly coming off the PUP list earlier than expected, and then, you know, him actually being out there practicing? What did you see from him today?
I believe Jermaine Kelly will be a great piece into building our cornerbacks back up young, trying to get them young. I feel like maybe he's one of the more slept-on rookies that we drafted, because it was the last drafted rookie we had in the 7th round. But I feel like they would ease him in, and I think he probably worked on some of them undrafted, you know, wide receivers that get, you know, PT time. But we'll see once he get matched up on Braxton Miller and Fuller and all those guys. So, as of right now, it's a good sign. See him come back early, and he can develop.
Okay. Wise, what have you seen from Jermaine Kelly? Did anything that caught your interest, or anything that kind of a slight concern? I know he's a lower round draft pick, and a lot of people haven't been mentioning him, but, you know, sometimes you can't find those sleepers like Braylon just mentioned. So anything interesting about him that you came across today?
No, I mean, he actually was there at OTAs too. He just recently went on a PUP list because he had an injury during OTAs or whatever. He made some impressions at minicamp as well. This guy, I liked his length. I liked his film. Watching him when we drafted him, he actually made some plays at San Jose State. That guy's from Cali. He's long. He's fast. He can play special teams. So either way, he's gonna find the spot on his roster sooner or later. But as throwing him out there in year one, I don't think so. I think you should let him develop a little bit more and gain some knowledge. You got to learn his defense and everything. You can't just throw a 7th round rookie out there the first 8 weeks of the NFL season. You can't do that. So I would like to wait and kind of groom him in the system.
Okay. Hector, any thoughts on Jermaine Kelly Jr.?
I think he'll be in the practice squad, but I think him coming into this practice, you know, yeah, he's a little rusty, but at the same time, you know, he did make some plays, and that just shows that, you know, he's just happy to be back and ready to kind of show his worth. And I mean, you know, once he's developed, you know, he's definitely going to be seen as one of those guys to be looked at the corner position. So I think it's important to develop him, and I think practice squad isn't a bad place for him to be for this season.
Okay. Wink, any personal opinions, any thoughts on what you've seen from Jermaine Kelly Jr. today?
Not too many. I haven't seen him do anything personally. I mean, I was a little out of it. I was been on Madden and shit like that. I done seen a few plays. Did a few plays here. You know, I hear mostly, you know, this was like Honey Badger and J.J. Watt's day. You know, pretty much the only news I got was that he came off the PUP, which is a good thing because you get to gauge your talent, you know, at the tight end position or the cornerback position, you know, and you know, see what the guys work, see what Treston Deku and a few of those guys can do, see if that length really shows up, and because it's going to be needed when you're going against some of the better TVs. And honestly, the way that we run the defense, I don't think we can really take any other flies on any small corners unless they are truly elite. They have great closing speed. They have great awareness and tackling technique and take great angles. I mean, if you don't have that, I don't really see how the smaller corners with what Rack is going to be able to do is going to matter, you know, in years to come. I just feel like bigger corners, the new wave of how you have to play cornerback because receivers and tight ends are so fucking huge that they can't really contest, you know, with the larger guys. And having that arm length and, you know, the vertical to be able to leap with some of these guys in coverage down the field. And also, like, when it comes to, like, crossing routes with the smaller guys, you know, they don't have to be, you know, step for step or at their back hip. They can literally, you know, be trailing about a yard or two and can close in, you know, and leap out and then get a damn pass breakup. You know, probably a tip play. And if the right guys are in coverage and they are paying attention, they could possibly get picks and shit like that. So, It's good to see him back. You know, we need a lot of guys coming off an injury because honestly, with how shit went for us, we really can't afford any injuries at any position this year.
Okay. Now, shit, Kelly's he a little bit bigger. I need what 6'1", 6'2", something like 6'1".
He's something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he would actually be one of the taller guys we have outside of the cool moving to safety and things like that. So, I think it's a little bit better, get a little bit more height. I'd like to see some bigger corners, but then I know a lot of guys tend to move to safety when they are a little bit taller. Now we mentioned a little bit earlier, there was an anomaly today, something we hadn't been talked about, something we were kind of concerned about the other day, something we questioned the last time we had a roundtable. There was a Braxton Miller sighting today.
Oh yeah.
And so, like I say, I only caught the one play again. It was him working on a rookie again, and so I don't know how much.
It was Justin Reed he was working on.
That was Reed he working on? I thought that was Kelly.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Okay.
38.
It was actually 30. Okay. So with him making a play on Reed, then I guess I'll give him a little bit more props because I thought it was Kelly. I thought it was 36. How does that make you feel? What does that say to you about Braxton Miller and how he's looking this year?
What's good? What's going on, Killing Boys, man? What's good to Brandon 335, Texans boy? I seen all y'all. Even Heidi Ho. Over here. Yeah, I say Heidi is probably about a 3.5. I think that's what the over under is. You know what I'm saying, for my hairline or something like that. You know what I'm saying. So I don't know what else you would say the odds are, but now that we know that it was Justice Reed, because that's what I thought it was initially. I feel good about that. In terms of his closing speed, in terms of his length, in terms of his playmaking ability, I like the fact that we're seeing him make plays like that against the better talent on the team. You know, in terms of the secondary, we can almost go as far as to say that, he's better skill-wise than Kareem Jackson and Kevin Johnson. That's just skill-wise. But he hasn't been able to prove anything on the field. But the fact that, he's able to actually make those type of plays this early in camp, I'm really, really, I'm really feeling it. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that, he can make those type of plays go up. I didn't actually get to see the play. Somebody going to end up probably having to put the clip in, but I definitely heard about it. Matter of fact, I think that was probably like when me and you were on the call earlier, and that information came out. So I'm definitely gonna look into that once this video is over, and you probably go to Hector next.
All right, Heck, how do you feel about the Braxton Miller sighting? Is that a good sign for you, or something you've kind of been hoping for, or do you still think that kind of puts him on the he's still kind of at that lower end of the receiving corps?
Well, I mean, he's still gonna be fighting for that 5th and 6th spot, but definitely, he's making a strong case for himself. Not really much else to take from it. I mean, yeah, like maybe that's all. The whole him being antisocial and all that. You just see that he's trying to keep his job. So I mean, he's gonna fight for it. So I take that as a positive.
Okay. How about you, Wise? The Miller sighting. What does that say to you?
I mean, you can't really take anything from it. I mean, he's supposed to do that against a rookie. But at the same time, this guy's third year only playing receiver. I mean, this guy transitioned from quarterback to receiver. He played 1 year receiver at Ohio State, and then he played his second year at the Texans. So this guy still has to develop in this offense. He's still got to develop at a slot receiver. He's still got to learn how to make these cuts. He's elusive. We already know that. We know he can make big-time plays. We just need to know how to implement him in his offense. So that's all on Bill O'Brien. And I think he has the talent. It's just about the way we use him in his offense. So right. I wouldn't say it's on Braxton. I'm just saying it's all on Bill O'Brien.
Okay. Bray. Your name starts almost similar to Braxton, not all the way. Y'all both some BRs. How do you feel?
Really?
How do you feel? Yes. I'm stretching. I'm reaching. I'm gonna go get it. You know what I'm saying? But Braxton, Bray on Braxton. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts is it's good for him, but he's still at the bottom fighting to get up, to work his way up. Maybe he has a slight advantage over Kiki Boutique because he's been here longer, but his his faith is real low right now. His opportunity for mess up is slim. Like he doesn't have any mess ups in him, or it won't happen for him.
Now I want to take a quick pause before we talk about some other things. And like I said, I know some people were asking about the Astros situation yesterday with Ozuna. So I want to give Hector a little bit of time to update, give us some game on that whole situation. You know, he's our Astros insider. Shh, don't tell nobody. You know, just kind of inform the people who may be less informed about baseball, who are curious, you know, like myself, who may not be as familiar with the kid. And, you know, I know that he has a little situation. Kind of explain that if you can, and what he's going to bring to the Astros and how he's going to benefit them.
I mean, the Astros made a move on something they needed, and they needed a closing pitcher, and that's what Roberto Osuna is. I think he's a great closer. I think last time you and me talked, Honcho, that was actually one of the guys I was saying that I would like to see the Astros pursue. It was either him or Brad Hand. Obviously, Brad Hand's now in Cleveland, so now Osuna was the next option. I mean, the other one you could probably say was Chapman, but the Yankees aren't going to make a deal with him because obviously we're a contender just like they are, so they're not going to help us out and give us a closer, especially a closer like Chapman. So Osuna was the route to go, and yeah, he has some off-field issues. His suspension with the league is actually going to be done in August 4th, and he's gonna, and obviously it's for domestic violence issue. He's not charged. He hasn't been convicted. Well, he was charged, but he wasn't convicted. So I mean, the Astros had to have known something for them to make this move. So if they're gonna pursue a guy, especially in the situation that Osuna's in, I mean, they had to at least know that at least the case is going to be in his favor. And for everybody that's kind of getting mad about the idea that we actually have somebody that has hit a woman, it is something that bothers me too. But the thing is, people deserve a second chance, and I think the Astros, their environment will be able to help him. He's young. He's 23 years old, so he made a mistake, and at least he's trying to get better at it. He has been taking counseling. He has been doing what he can to show that he wants to move past his mistake, and I think we need to at least try to give him that opportunity. And I think even some of the Astros players are trying to be supportive for his situation, and even Verlander, who actually attacked him on Twitter when he was charged for the domestic violence issue, is even trying to be a little bit more open-minded about giving him a chance to at least prove that he's gotten better.
I thought he was talking of. Oh, speaking of Verlander, I thought Verlander was talking about the guy that was in the Astros organization that was caught on video.
That was a kid on the stairwell.
Yeah, that was in Corpus.
I'm beating the brakes off that shit.
Oh, that was.
Yeah. So he never talked about Osuna because Osuna hasn't been. It's no evidence on Osuna. That's my biggest thing. Why go off on somebody that you don't know if it's true? Okay, what if he's convicted? Well, then, yeah, a lot of people has been convicted. Everybody gave Aroldis Chapman a second chance, and he beat a wife. He beat a woman. There was gunshots in the situation, and they gave him a second chance. Why? Because it's the Yankees. The only reason why they're not giving him a second chance is because it's the Astros. If it was a bigger organization like the Red Sox and the Cubs and the Dodgers, they wouldn't make this big. Damn, Honcho, really? I'm sorry, bro.
Lit the black up.
I'm listening. I'm trying to get my learn on. You know what I'm saying? So this is me. This is me in my observation mode. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry, but that was a funny moment. I had to say something, but still, I just hate how he wasn't given a second. He right now isn't given a second chance by a lot of the fans, even though the fans was asking for Chapman. But it's a great move. In the past 2 years, he's been the in the top 3 of closing situations and perfecting it. He's possibly the 3rd best closer in the league, behind a couple guys. So,
okay. And so, here's my deal. I see in the comments that there is a Justin Verlander and Kate sex tape.
I don't know about the sex tape, but I know there's a leaked new photo from. I don't know if you remember a while back from like the fappening. I don't know if you remember what that is.
Yes,
but like when the whole iCloud thing that like people's pictures were coming out and all that shit. So yeah, it one of them was Kate Upton and Justin Verlander.
Okay.
So
yeah.
So she was catching his pitching.
I just found it on Twitter.
Well, that didn't take long. All right, so man, there's scientific research. So like I say, there's a looking at things from a Houston perspective, man. What I want to kind of do is take a moment because, like I say, a lot of good news came out today from the Texans. Say it was a slow practice. There's a couple of things we're going to talk about, but I want to open our eyes and take a look around the division and a little bit around the league on a couple of other things. First, I want to talk about a couple of notable stories from some guys that we had definitely talked about in the past, had interest in, and one of them in particular not looking so well. Have you guys seen the assault on Richard Sherman by Marquise Goodwin?
God.
Yeah.
Okay. So there you go. Look, why is it put the whole league? It's got the whole thing showed up. So if y'all are looking, it showed up on the thing, so y'all can see it. For some reason, the website shows the links down. But did y'all see? Y'all had a chance to see that, and did we luck out? Because I know there was a lot of Texans fans who were craving for Richard Sherman, wanting to pick him up. Yeah, I was looking for a better word than that, but definitely fiending to go after Richard Sherman. Big name on the market. Say, hey, that was a move we should have made. And if Marquise Goodwin was out there, getting burnt up. And being burnt up by Marquise Goodwin. Imagine did we see signs of that, against from Fuller last year? We saw signs of that, against some speedier guys last year. I think the Texans definitely dodged the bullet. We know they weren't going to show interest anyway because he's an outspoken guy and things like that. But, man, what are your thoughts on that? We'll work with Bray and work our way back, man. Did you have a chance to come across and see that video?
Yeah, I saw him, and he just let the man run right past him. He was over there chugging along with his slow old ass now. Richard Sherman, we dodged a huge bullet. By passing him and not getting him. Maybe they inquired about him, but we dodged a bullet by him not taking no other interviews except for the one in San Francisco. There's just no way he can succeed in our team doing that, and we already got a corner that can do that. That was done to him. Jonathan Joseph could get burnt like that.
I don't think Joseph won't look that bad.
Hey. Jonathan Joseph got burnt by Ty Hilton, right? T.Y. Hilton, right? Mm-hmm. And he got burnt by Robert Woods. Didn't he get burnt by Robert Woods the past season? Yep.
A lot of people did.
But that was kind of the safeties was supposed to pick that boy up when they were running cover 2 in that situation, and he split the defense straight.
Well, he got burnt.
I think J.J.'s still faster than Richard Sherman. J.J. came out running like a 4-3 when he came out. Sherman was
J.J. can run, and let's just be real. Fast receivers have always given Sherman problems. I seen Deshaun Watson burn him. Seen Fuller do what he's done. It depends on the type of receiver, but it's not like you can give up one play like that, but he doesn't give up numerous plays like that. He knows how to press you. He knows how to take you out of the play so that you can't get back in your route to recover. And his recovery speed, even though he runs a 4.5, is amazing. I don't really care how fast you've really been over Richard Sherman. He does not get burnt like that. If he gets burnt here and there, okay, so what? But just to be we know he doesn't have a history of that. So, I can't really say I'm glad. I can't agree with that. I respect Braylon's opinion, but I can't agree with what we have. He's better than anybody that we have on this team right now, even coming off an Achilles injury.
Wise, what are your thoughts on that video?
Richard Sherman always been slow. He's a zone corner. He was never a man-to-man corner. If he was playing man-to-man, he'll get exposed by fast receivers. You put Will Fuller on Richard Sherman, he getting burned. But if you play him in a zone with a safety on the top of him, a great safety like Cam Chancellor or Earl Thomas, what he had in Seattle, or Honey Badger in Houston, then he'll be working perfectly fine. But, I mean, the man is old. I mean, he tore his Achilles. That's a 14-month injury, like we said, for Deontay Foreman to fully recover from. And then this man is just slow. I mean, it's nothing to say behind it. He's just slow. And Marquise Goodwin was one of the fastest dudes coming out of the draft. And Marquise Goodwin ran track for UT and won the national championship in track. So, I mean, it's nothing too much on that. But, yeah he's just slow.
I take that with a grain of salt, to be honest. I wouldn't. It's like whatever.
Okay. But it was funny.
Oh yeah, it was funny. We did have him in the blender a little bit. My bad. Sorry about that. Hector, what are your thoughts? Did you have a chance to witness the Sherman burning? And any thoughts you may have had on that?
Not really. I mean, in the end of it all, it's all practice. I mean, only thing that matters is what you do on the game.
Okay. Now, what I want to kind of get into now is I want to do some talk about what's going on around the division. You know, there's been a lot of hype around the AFC South, a much stronger conference. It's a much better conference than it was. We're no longer looking at it as the weak conference. That might be the AFC East now, but you know, outside of the Patriots. But I want to kind of get into first. I want to kind of talk about Andrew Luck and his return and all the hype that is surrounding Andrew Luck. And people say, oh, he's back. You know, the Colts are back into contention and, you know, he's doing this and he's doing that. The Colts made a couple of O-line upgrades. They made a couple of moves and, you know, to try to protect him. How do you honestly feel that Andrew Luck will be this next upcoming season? And, you know, what are kind of your thoughts on his return? We'll start with Wink and then work our way back.
I hope he's good because I'm ready to see those games and I'm ready for the AFC South to count as a whole. Because if the Colts step up and they end up surprising teams this year, we already know teams like the Jaguars, when Andrew Luck, it seems like the Jaguars and the Titans can't contest and they can't win games against them. I want to say the Jaguars blew them out a couple of years ago, like 50 to something, and that was probably an anomaly. You know, we know they'll probably never do that to them ever again. And but I want him to be good. I want him to be good so that we can have some great games, and we're gonna end up having like, you know, I'm just so ready to really see him get back into action because, you know, a lot of people, you know, they still regard him as the top quarterback, whether he's healthy or not in this division, and I want him to be on the field so they can realize that Deshaun Watson is Kane and he's win. That's what I'm ready to see. I'm ready to see him get unseated and for people to stop overrating him because you can't do that if he's not on the field. So if he takes his team and he brings his team, you know, better than what they were and exceeds expectations and they somehow find a niche in their game and guys are able to get open and make plays, then I'm all for it because I want the best competition we can to bring the best out of our players. In order to be the man, you got to beat the man.
Okay. Hector, how are you feeling about Andrew Luck? What are you thinking? You know, with the return of Andrew Luck, are the Colts back in contention? Are they ready to hang up another AFC Championship visit banner? What do you see happening with the Colts this year?
I think the Colts are still missing a lot of pieces before they're going to be the Colts that, you know, all of the AFC South remembers. Because, I mean, you got to remember, this division used to be the Colts' division every single year. And then the Texans got better. And now, you know, you can kind of make an argument that the Titans gotten better. And now the Jaguars got their defense. So, I mean, the best part is that this division is getting better, I think, in general, because we're not looked at as the worst division anymore. But you know, it's going to be great to see Andrew Luck back. I mean, obviously he's considered a Houston kid, so. But I mean, they're still missing a lot of things. I think it's going to be a way before, we see the Colts as a contender again. I think our eyes are on Jacksonville right now, and that's just because their defense. And Titans, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how they look this year, but apparently they know how to beat the Jaguars. So right now it's just, we got to focus on each game day by day kind of thing.
Okay. Wise, man, what are your thoughts on the return of Andrew Luck and what that does for the Indianapolis Colts?
I mean, for them, they're going to win, like, I don't know how many games they're going to win, to be honest, because I haven't looked at their schedule. But from what I've been seeing on Twitter from reporters, they've been saying, oh, yeah, Andrew Luck, he's going 24-33 for today with an interception. 17-25 on his first day in full pads. He going 19 for 33. I mean, these stats don't matter. It's practice, man. Right. I mean, first of all, the Colts don't have a secondary. Their secondary is trash. Their defense is trash, to be honest. They got a few key guys like Malik Hooker. Vontae Davis got older now. He was locked down corner at one point. No more. They let him go. Oh, well, that was their best corner, and they let him go. So, I mean...
They got Jabal Sheard, though.
Yeah, Sheard is pretty good. And they got Jonathan Simon as well, right? From the Texans. But other than that, I mean, this guy can do whatever he does. He makes his players better, the receivers around him better. And then they did add Ebron, which is a receiving tight end. He can't really block at all. So I expect this guy, Andrew Luck, to come back and have a solid year as a quarterback, but he will have a lot of trouble with turnovers like he did in the past because he was consistently throwing interceptions in the past.
Okay.
I see Tinny in the comment section doing work.
Yeah, he put it in here. You know, Tinny gonna do the damn. Shout out to Tinny, man.
Tinny, I ain't even gonna worry about saying nothing about this situation. Go ahead and handle that.
Brandon.
That dude Clarence.
Go ahead and handle that. See, you said his name. You said you just had to say his name.
Hey, that's
with a chin, no shine.
It's just a Jaguars fan thinking they special because they got a special team.
We gonna get on the Jags. We gonna get on the Jags in just a second. We gonna talk about the whole South. We gonna work our way around. But with the Andrew Luck situation, how do you feel?
Man, it's nothing to it. When you facing against the cornerbacks that they got on the team, and then you got T.Y. Hilton and Dante Moncrief and Jack Doyle and Eric Ebron. Damn, of course, you should work the defense. That defense, they have no linebackers. They have some type of pass rush with Jabbar Sheard, but that's about it. They have one safety and Malik Hooker. They got no cornerbacks now because they done lost Davis. So you're looking at a defense that is just as bad as the Raiders' defense.
Yeah, they suck.
So it's nothing. Of course, a quarterback gonna go 12 for 12 in practice.
They probably gonna hang a man for that shit too. Had a perfect practice. Let's hang a man.
Brandon, we didn't probably go 12 for 12 in practice.
That's what I'm saying, bro. With that defense you gotta face, it's nothing to it. You just dot right here, slant right here. Out, okay. I'm gonna throw it deep. I connected one deep. I only throw it deep once. That's the biggest thing. We have not seen him throw deep either. If we seen his deep accuracy, then we can start. Okay, maybe he got his own back. But for all I know, it could be drags the whole time. It could be a drag route every time.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna start with you, Bray, and work our way back, man. Let's talk about another team in the South, and this one has a couple of connections that we need to discuss. And I know it's folks in the chat that want to talk about a particular team. We're going to save them for last. We're going to make you wait. We'll talk about the trash can Tennessee Titans, man. You're hearing a lot of shit, and I told y'all a while back some motherfuckers they reached deep into Mariota's career to try to find, 6 or 7 consecutive games that he played to try to say he had better stats than Watson. Then again, Watson played, 6.5. And then again, like I say, we were talking about a guy who didn't ever work with the ones, who came out and did some different things, had a significant injuries. Like I say, that's why I say football stats are much different than all that other shit, because people just like to take the numbers. You got to account for a lot of different things. But you hear a lot of people talking about Mariota's going to bounce back. A lot of people blame the head coach from last year was why Mariota, he wasn't using him right. And have we seen? Well, we'll talk about the Titans overall, but with Mariota. Have we seen the best of Mariota? Is he in a decline? Will he bounce back? And what do you feel about that Titans team overall now under the leader of men, one Mike Ain't Able Rabel?
If they talk about a head coach that couldn't do nothing with Marcus Mariota, they got him in Mike Vrabel too. Mike Vrabel couldn't do nothing with the pass rusher he had. Okay, so he had J.J. Watt, Whitney Merciless, and Clowney. Granted, Clowney was eating up on the Patriots, and then finally Watt came in there. But they wouldn't eat enough to help defense because the cornerbacks are getting eat. So Marcus Mariota ain't going to be able to do nothing this year. They have no wide receivers that's capable of doing it.
Really?
Wait.
Really?
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 Man, get the fuck out of here. Like, what?
Really? Why would I even say that right there? Really? All right, man. Let me give it back to Marcus Mariota. We know we're talking about that BS right there. That's straight BS right there.
Stop.
But why? Marcus Mariota is the laughing stock. Is the second laughing stock quarterback in the AFC South. We've seen the best of him. All he can do is run. His form is a bit broken now. And he stays every season. He's injured. It's nothing to worry about. How do you get injured with that O-line? How?
I don't know.
That O-line, we go to the Super Bowl. I don't care.
Dang, speaking of that O-line, what are your thoughts on the Lawan signing? And what are your thoughts on, because we hear a lot of talk coming out about, Malcolm Butler been locking everybody down. We already know what we've seen from Malcolm Butler against Texans receivers. So, I mean,
no receivers there.
I'm not going to lie. There's no receivers there, but he was looking a little bit locked down from the video I saw. The video I saw, he looked locked down. Like, he had read that out perfectly. Granted, it hurts that we didn't get him, but hopefully they can make a move next season or in the draft to go get a better cornerback than he ever will be. But Taylor Lewan, I just love how they pay him the day after he gets bullied by a fellow offensive lineman. I just love it. Just sign him to the highest paid tackle contract of all time when he's not even the best tackle in the league at this moment. To say he's the best tackle of all time from that contract is no way. So.
Okay. Wise, how you feeling about the Titans overall, from Butler to Lawan to Davis? Who they say is supposed to be the next heir apparent to nothing, obviously, but they putting him on a pedestal like he really just rocking with something. And Mariota in comparison to Watson, because there's been a lot of talk from Titans fans about Mariota and Watson.
First, I want to start off and say they don't even got their first-round draft pick signed as of yet, Rashaan Evans. Second of all, Corey Davis is trash. I mean, every receiver the Titans has drafted in the first round is trash. What was the dude they had got that a couple years ago from Baylor? Can't remember his name.
Was that Kendall Wright?
Kendall Wright.
Yeah.
Kendall Wright.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, what a disappointment he was.
Look what happened to his career. Okay, and then you got Taylor Lewan. This guy's overrated. This guy got beat by offensive linemen and offensive lineman drills. That never should happen, ever, in practice. Don't matter if it's practice or if it's a game. Let's talk about Mariota. Every time we play Mariota, he goes down with an injury. Before we played him, for some apparent reason, he has an injury. I think he's scared of J.J. Watt, to be honest. This guy is... Just that draft with Mariota and Jameis Winston is just disappointing because I thought Jameis Winston at least was going to ball out. I don't know what happened to both of these guys. It's like their confidence got taken away or something like that. I mean, Mariota is nothing to be afraid of. I mean, the only thing I like about the Tennessee Titans is they beat the Jaguars all the time. So that's the only thing they got going for them.
Well, you said Jameis Winston, balls out. Apparently that's what he was doing in the Uber. Obviously that got his ass. Because he did the shit. he did that shit. I ain't do the shit. He did the shit. You know what I'm saying? Fuck. You can't be fucking with the Uber driver.
Damn. Shit. I got the feather black.
Honcho with all the below the belt.
I'm just saying, man. Like,
Shit, then we
he
might
did
as well
that
say he's
shit.
stealing crabs too.
Man, that's what I'm saying.
Oh my
Man,
goodness!
Look, look, the statute of limitations is
my
up on
God.
the crabs, man. But the fuck it, he continued doing the boneheaded shit. So fuck it, he ain't no Texas quarterback. Fuck it.
Yeah, he be doing dumbass shit like stealing crab legs and shit. Like, who the fuck thinks to steal a crab leg? Like, bitch, do you know how long a crab leg is? Like it's alive. It's pinching you and shit. Bro, like, what the fuck? Who steals crab legs? Like, I know his mama was ashamed. I know she was like, you fucking up the trash can. You fucking up the money. You still went number one overall because the Bucks was just so desperate.
That shit there was wild.
And honestly, I feel his talent is much better than Mariota's.
Yeah,
I feel he's harder to bring down. I just feel like they both make boneheaded mistakes when it comes to games, but Mariota isn't that much better. I say he's more athletic. I would definitely say that. He has more athleticism, but we know he can't stay on the field long. You know what I'm saying? You got people even going as far as to say that he was hobbled, like, oh my God, he was on one leg in the game. The nigga played the whole a half, and as soon as he realized that that the game was out of the way, he faked the injury for 2 weeks so he could feel good again. I had a fucking Titans fan arguing with me and was talking about Deshaun Watson being a horrible quarterback. I'm like, bro, Mariota's been horrible. We've been taking advantage of the Titans for I don't know how long now. Like, just stop. Yeah. But go ahead and get this on Hector anyway.
Yeah. Hector, how do you feel about the Titans as a whole, their threat to the title in the AFC South? Is Mariota a superior quarterback to Watson? And then, like I say, just kind of the team overall as a whole. What are your thoughts on what the Titans have been have so far in their camp?
Well, to answer your question about if Mariota is better than Watson, God no.
Fuck no.
Not close.
People out there saying it. I'm just saying.
Whatever they're on, I kind of want to know.
They on that Flocka. They on that shit.
Going off. Jamie going off in the chat and he can't say nothing.
They on that shit Kendrick Lamar was on in the episode of Power last night.
But anyways, I mean the Titans. There's one thing that the Titans are gonna do, and that's run.
Right.
They're not gonna throw the ball very often, and if they do, well, it probably is not gonna work out well because Mariota throws a lot of picks. And I just don't think I think we can beat Tennessee, and somehow they're oddly the guys that can beat the Jaguars. I don't know how. I guess because they both play kind of the same. Maybe I'll probably put Blake Bortles. I'll even put Blake Bortles over Mariota. I mean, that's not even saying much, to be honest.
No, not really.
I mean, they both run the ball heavily. They depend on their defense. I would even put the Jags defense over the Titans, which that's what even baffles me even more on how the Titans know how to beat the Jaguars, but.
Some teams just got certain teams' number.
Yeah.
I made the point to somebody else earlier, like when we were talking about the Titans and shit like that, and I was like, we could potentially split with the Colts and the Jags this year. I mean, I'm not banking on it, but like, if there's any teams in the division that we would split with, it would be those two teams. And he got to talking about Andrew Luck and this. I'm like, bro, you must don't know. We lost to Jacoby Brissett twice last year. I was like, so. I mean, and he beat us with a healthy team the year prior. So, obviously, he didn't do his due diligence. I didn't even bother to comment because it's just so much shit that he's behind on. But as far as the Titans and this and that, come on, bro. It's absolutely laughable. Nobody's talking about Mariota. Nobody's talking about Bortles. The only two quarterbacks even being mentioned in this whole AFC South who could change the whole landscape of the division, even is a hurt Andrew Luck and a healthy Deshaun Watson. Like, nobody else is going to be mentioned. Nobody. Who the fuck is who? No, Jacksonville don't even believe. Jacksonville fans don't even believe in Blake Bortles. You never have, you never will. And the fact that y'all gifted him $54 million over 3 years is an absolute joke. When I saw that contract, I was like, thank God you were stupid enough to do it. Because everybody in the division is going to get the feast. You know what I'm saying? So the teams in the division got somewhat better, but I can't wait for these games because I'm done talking about it. I'm done talking about what Watson's gonna do. If they need any further proof of what Watson's doing, maybe they should just get on Twitter or Instagram. You know what I'm saying? And focus on the whole division because we not only focus on our team, we focus on everybody else that we gonna smash in this division.
Well, here's the deal. Now, look, there's some folks out there saying some crazy shit about Mariota. They talking about Luck gonna bounce back and be better. There's some folks got Deshaun as the third QB in the league. These guys are experts. So that's what I tell y'all, man. Like I said, you'll never hear me call myself expert. We just fans talking to the fans. But sometimes the fans have more sense than these experts because a lot of these experts have, again, we talking about biased people researching information for them. But it is what it is. So let's talk about the third team in the AFC South that we need to discuss. And I kind of have a question I'm going to put out there because I saw some things in the chat and it actually made a little bit of sense. Did the Jags last year kind of benefit from the Warriors playoff situation, going up a bunch of teams that were kind of dinged up, that were hurt against weaker teams and things like that? And then after that, also, hold on, there was a text on the sauce line. Shout out to Dr. Rabbit because he had mentioned about Marquise Lee getting injured. And then I also believe Moncrief is hurt now too. One, Blake Bortles his ass, so he needs to develop that connection with his receivers because it don't matter because somebody will interrupt that connection during the season anyway. But what is your overall feeling about the Jags this year? The sudden success they had last year, and we saw that message about the 16-0. I guess they smelling their own ass, but what do you feel about the Jags and what they're going to bring to the table this year in this season? And what have you heard that's interesting, coming out of their camp?
I haven't heard anything interesting. I mean, they got some good players on defense. They have a great offensive line. I'll give them that. And they got a good running back. You know what I'm saying? But he got health problems. I mean, the most important position on any field is the quarterback, and they don't have one of those. So how can you win games? He's not serviceable enough, and he's going to be able to be disrupted. He doesn't have the targets to throw to. You get rid of probably one of the most effective weapons he had last year in Mercedes Lewis to bring in Austin Seferian-Jenkins, a lesser talent who's been in the league for 6+ years and has done nothing. He has great length. He has great size. He has decent speed, but he's not a great blocker. He doesn't do anything exceptionally well. So otherwise, he would have been signed to a long-term deal from the Bucs years ago. But it's just like I'm glad they feeling their success because it's gonna be real fun. I'm actually done talking about Jaguars fans and Titans fans because they just started to know what success feels like. It's so easy for dudes. I'm not even gonna bother to even look at the comments section to even entertain anything being said because somebody claims they know all these facts. Well, the facts is you haven't won a game against us since 2013 when we were 2-14, and that was with bad quarterback play, along with an array of injuries. It was the same shit back then when y'all beat us in both games. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we're not really worried. You beat up a team who was indecisive of who they wanted to be the starting quarterback. They made the decision way too late, and Deshaun Watson didn't get to start with the team. We had Hurricane Harvey. We had an assortment of things that ended up happening to us. And we had some critical injuries, and we had a lot of bad coaching. And that's why I can contribute a lot of our unsuccessful season, too. So we'll see when this season starts, and I can't wait to see the Jaguars and Titans. The Colts, I'm kind of giving them a pass because I'm not so much worried about them because they haven't been talking much. The Jags and the Titans, and I don't know where all this confidence came from. Because you didn't have you on the season before. You didn't have it the season before that. Matter of fact, y'all haven't had confidence since Fred Taylor and Mark Brunell were the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So for y'all to sit here and act like y'all been winning, like y'all been doing something, y'all don't have no historical defense. Y'all ain't put up no historical numbers. It's just historical for a Jaguars franchise who just found out what success is.
Okay. Now, I got a couple of folks texting in the sauce line, man. Make sure you text your screen name with it so I can make sure I give y'all your sauce. And if you don't know, like I said, if you call in on the sauce, I'm going to open up the sauce line here shortly after we finish wrapping it up about the Jags so you guys can call in and comment. But make sure if you're texting in the sauce line, make sure you put your screen name on there so I can make sure you get your 50,000 sauce. And if you call in, make sure you let us know your name so you can get your 100K sauce. Yes, also have bumped up, with the super chat, the sauce has gone up because Voodoo did point out, this the sauce inflation, for the calls and texts. So if you do donate, make sure everybody gets more sauce that way. But Clarence, man, you kind of overlooked that thing I asked you. I posted in the comments. 21-40. Who holds that record? And what AFC South quarterback holds the record of 21-40? But like we said, we're gonna move on to Hector. Y'all can figure that one out.
Damn, that's bad.
No, it's awful. That's not bad. It's god awful.
That's unfortunate.
So my thing is this, Hector. The Jags. Are you worried about the Jags? Are you feeling a healthy Texans team applies much more pressure? What do you see? What are you hearing from the Jags, and what are you feeling like this next season when the Jags and the Texans meet up?
As far as the division, I think the Jags are our biggest threat. I can't see a split in the series with them, and it's their defense. In the end of it all, it's their defense and their running game. If the running game is going well, then Blake Bortles has a pretty good game because they start going off the play action. But other than that, man, we've seen there. Just as much as we got film. We see how that defense plays in firsthand, but we also have film on how to beat that defense now. I think we've kind of seen it how to do it now, especially if you look at what the Tennessee Titans have done, and even how the New England Patriots were able to do their job. And I think, this is going to be an interesting matchup. I think this is probably going to be the one I look forward to, which is crazy because I've never looked forward to watching a Jaguars game in a long time. But I'm actually excited. I'm actually happy that we're having good competition in the division. And the Jags, they look good, and I'm giving them the respect. They had a good year last year, but a lot of the teams in the AFC South are looking better and healthier, and I think, we'll see what it looks like when you go up against Deshaun Watson and this Texans offense. So, it's not Tom Savage. It's not a statue in the pocket anymore. It's Deshaun Watson.
Right.
Okay. Wise. The wise man. How do you feel? What's your spiel on the motherfucking Laxonville Lagwars?
First of all, I want to address Zachary, if that's however you pronounce his name, the Cowboys fan. On ESPN, on NFL Network, they were showing Dak Prescott watching Carson Wentz film. Cowboys making him watch Carson Wentz because he ain't a real quarterback. So Cowboys gonna catch some problems when they come to H-Town in a couple weeks. So we're gonna see about that. Anyways, talking about these Jacksonville Jaguars, Blake Bortles is inaccurate as a quarterback. This guy had a suspect season last season. He got away with a lot of big plays. It was like the Jaguars was playing Madden or something like that. It was just unbelievable, like the plays they were making. The defense was great. Jalen Ramsey is great. AJ Bouye gets away with a lot of holding calls at cornerback. He did that here too. But I really don't worry about the Jaguars because they have these type of seasons every now and then they fall back off. So we just gotta wait and see how they bounce back. But I think we go 2-0 against the Jacksonville Jaguars this year. I don't know. Something just tells me we'll whoop their ass because they've been talking a lot of smack, talking about they going 16-0 this season. That's just disrespectful.
Okay. Bray. What's going down, man? What you got to say about the motherfucking Jaguars?
This is beyond me. They think they're going 16-0? The fuck no. Whenever your quarterback is 21-40 all time, that's terrible. That's horrific. That's horrific. You would never stand a chance to try to beat at least the Texans, let alone having to try to beat the Patriots, which you haven't beat any Patriots in a long time, longer than us. Okay, granted, it was a while back we beat the Patriots. At least we beat the Patriots before. I ain't never seen them beat the Patriots, especially with Tom Brady at the helm. Okay. So, for them to... I'm sorry, I do have one thing. That season was a fluke because they had one of the easiest schedules in the NFL. When you're the fourth ranked team in the division, you get an easy schedule. An easy schedule. So that helped them a lot. I mean, a lot. Because, all right, granted, they did whoop on the Steelers. Yeah, they went to the Steelers. They lost to the 49ers at the end of the season. Lost to the Titans twice. It's just
Jets.
Yeah, they lost to the Jets.
Come on, man. There's
Jets,
no way
bro.
you can tell me that season wasn't a fluke. And I don't care what Clarence Austin Jr. says.
Outside of the
nobody
Pittsburgh
to me-
Steelers, nobody was real. I mean, that's the best team they beat.
And even the Steelers were a bit shaky at that moment, but they picked it up and they damn near beat them in the divisional round. They just won it off of some bullshit non-holding calls that wasn't called. I'm sorry. There was some holding calls against Jacksonville Jaguars that wasn't called, but hey, it's whatever.
To add on what you're saying, Braylon, you see Jaguar fans love to omit the fact that they put, 42, 45 points up on them in the playoffs? That's horrible. That's horrible. And that was with a supposedly lockdown defense. Lockdown defenses don't let up 40 points.
And another thing to think about, they won 4 games because they played the Texans without Deshaun Watson twice, and they played the Colts without Andrew Luck twice.
We were completely depleted when we played the second time, and the coaching got worse as the year progressed because they didn't know who to plug in, they didn't know what to do. You steady playing dudes out of position. You had Tom Savage as your quarterback. Will Fuller was in and out of the lineup. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was really contributing in a few other options. You know what I'm saying? Plus, we had bad offensive line play. I mean, it was just too many things, and it's not too many seasons we've been in a situation like that.
Wait. I'm sorry. Clarence Austin Jr. just said something real quick. So, if Leonard Fournette is injured and half your offensive line is out, and we will be off 55-2, whatever the score is, I'm gonna say the same thing. No, it don't matter.
And we've whooped y'all worse than that. Like
no Will Fuller, no number 2 receiver, no tight ends.
We were beating the brakes off of y'all with Brian Hoyer. We were beating the brakes off of y'all with Brian Hoyer, with Ryan Fitzpatrick, with Matt Schaub. Like, come on, bro. Y'all think because y'all get 1 year of success, and that's what I'm saying, 1 year of success in 10 years. Y'all trash. Like, come on, bro.
Bro, Clarence Austin Jr., I'm sorry for going off on him and stopping you, Wink. Yeah, he sat 4 times with the offensive line we had. We had Brian Giacomini. We don't even know how to pronounce the man's name. Stop saying about somebody we can't even pronounce. Got everything was depleted. Deontay Foreman wasn't in himself yet. He got himself after, or maybe he got injured. I don't know. I'm tripping.
Exactly. But, he was injured in that game. He was.
The Jaguars have never played the Texans at their full strength with everybody with Deshaun Watson at the helm starting the game. And even when Deshaun Watson got in the game, they was shaky. Their defense looked a little bit shook. They're like, okay, how do we stop him? Granted, he threw an interception, but that was a rookie mistake. What rookie don't make that mistake? I know a quarterback that's not a rookie that makes that mistake also. Like, boy.
It's
things like Clarence that make it hard for me to give them the credit that they somewhat deserve because he's so fucking arrogant. He's so arrogant to believe that because they finally came up out of this hole, they got a lot of contracts coming up over the next 2 years that are going to end up like Malik Jackson, and you still got to pay Miles Jack, and you got to do this, and you got to do that. They're going to start losing depth. You're going to start losing depth over time. You didn't just sign Norwell. You didn't just sign a bunch of guys in free agency. You're making moves. I understand. Y'all, y'all ain't gonna end up having the same cap next year as y'all had this year and the years past.
Hey, I'm sorry for stopping you. I'm sorry for this segment being as long as it is. This segment shouldn't be that long, but because some idiot named Clarence Austin Jr. wanna come talk smack. JJ Watt,
not the shirt again, Honcho.
Okay, granted, there was circumstances Nobody in that game was focused. We can all be honest here.
Yeah.
No.
The Texans
The
focused the
game
first game of the season.
that was coming off Hurricane Harvey. They hardly practiced. They was out there in the community.
Coming right off of Hurricane Harvey. Not to mention, we didn't have a fourth preseason game, so a lot of the backups wasn't ready. Let's be honest.
Yep.
And we missed practice.
Plus, you couldn't even get to the practice facility. The shit was underwater for weeks. For weeks. You see, nobody talks about that, though.
It don't matter. But
We couldn't even practice.
Yeah, like I said, we already know. Like I say, let him have his
Yeah,
line.
but
and I just want him to show up whenever we play during the season. No excuses. And absolutely make sure you call into the Sauce Line.
Yeah,
the Sauce
hey,
line, the Sauce line is activated
now.
And,
Matter of fact, he can't make another comment until he calls in. Utilize your cell phone, the one that you pay your bill for every month, and call in and spill all this sauce you claim to talk about. Call the fuck in.
And if you can't read, it's 832-639-3747.
The number right there
Drip
for
if
you
you don't know,
in.
damn it.
Now I want to take a second real quick to shout out everybody who's been showing some super saucy, super chat love. Shout out to Oscar Federico, OG77013. Shout out to Voodoo Child holding down. And shout out to Jay Dizzle, even though you're talking about my shirt. You know what I'm saying? He's showing love, even though he hating. So it's all Gucci. And the shirt live. The hoes love the shirt. Don't give a fuck what y'all talking about. I don't care if they are South Dakota farm hoes. They still love that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, the Sauce Line is activated. But before we get too far into some other stuff, we're going to get some of these messages. We got a bunch of messages coming in on the Sauce Line and text message. Again, make sure y'all text and put your name so I can make sure I know who to give the sauce to. What I probably do is, like, at the end of the stream, make sure I go ahead and I'll go and make sure everybody has their stuff. We actually got a couple of Rockets questions. I'm going to get to the Rockets questions a little bit later at the end. And then we're going to talk a couple of we're going to make sure we get all the Texan stuff out the way first. This says, who do y'all see starting at safety, Justin Reed or Kareem Jackson, or will they play it rotationally?
What happened? My bad. I was looking at what Tinny did.
I said, like I said, we'll throw it up for everybody. Who do y'all see starting at safety, Justin Reed or Kareem Jackson, or will they play it rotationally?
All right. The first couple of weeks, I think Kareem Jackson will have it.
Yeah.
Just based off of knowing the playbook and experience in the NFL. But then later on, hold on, wait a minute. Give me a second. I saw something. I'm past that off. But later on, it'll start become rotational. But how deep our safeties is, I think he don't start until week 8, week 9. But yeah.
No, Wink, are these false accusations being made about the Madden game, Wink? Because I know initially when they
he won the last 2 games we played.
Okay,
he won the I ain't ashamed of. No, he won the last 2 games.
Okay.
He can get it again.
What's the all-time record?
I'll play you tonight. We like tied up.
Okay.
We like tied up. Well, no, actually, yeah, we tied up because we played 2 games prior to that.
Okay.
So yeah, we tied up.
Okay.
Hey, Claire,
I just want to make sure ain't no slander being thrown out there. I want to make sure all facts are being accurate. Okay.
No, we tied up. He won the last 2 games.
Okay. So you were saying you don't see him coming into week 8. Bray. Anybody else have thoughts on that? You know, Kareem Jackson or Justin Reed?
I agree with what Braylon had to say. I mean, it would make sense, but honestly, it just depends on instincts. It depends on instincts, and it just depends on open space and speed. And but I honestly believe they're going to end up rotating in some way, short form, or fashion. But honestly, Kareem Jackson has had injury concerns too, so it's not a guarantee. Even if he plays, that he'll stay healthy. So. I just want Justin Reed to do what he has to do. Make sure that he's studying this film, making practice, doing what he has to do, and get it cracking, man. Okay. And what is David Pritchard saying? He's saying, "Wink, play me, my."
Okay, hold on. We got a call coming in on the Sauce Line. Let's see.
It better be clear.
Is it from Florida?
Look. Let me see. I don't know. This is what's 469. Let's see what's shaking here.
I think that's a Jacksonville.
What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in on the Sauce Line? Oh shit! Let me make sure I got mine. Hold on, look at me. I might have my volume down low. My bad.
Jerry Walls.
Okay, hold on. Repeat that, man. I had my sound off. You probably wasn't talking about nothing. No way. It's Clarence talking about some Jaguars. But go ahead and repeat that for me, please.
Why you ain't talking?
Parents didn't pay your phone bill.
He got that boost mobile.
Boost mobile.
I know nothing. It's just true. I come to spit some facts. Y'all around there talking, doing accusations. I'm assuming. I think this happening. No, it might not be happening. No. Let's spit some facts about each other's team.
Okay, give us some facts.
Let's spit the facts now.
Give me some facts.
I'm gonna give you the one fact. You're hollering about Jacksonville. Okay, we've been to the playoffs in 9 years, not 10, 9 years. In the playoffs, Jacksonville as a franchise is 7-7.
Whoa,
The Texans
a whole 9
franchise
years.
in playoffs.
Whoa.
We've been around a lot longer than y'all, but we've been to the playoffs more than y'all. Y'all have won 4 division titles. The furthest Texans have got is the divisional round. Jacksonville, in their 14 playoff games, they have been to the AFC Championship 3 times. Texans have not been one in their whole franchise history yet. Y'all talk about Watson. Yeah, Watson is a very good quarterback. I think Watson will be one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the next 2-3 years. Probably top 5. Not gonna lie about that. You know, I know Border's not gonna be a top 10 quarterback. He don't have the message, but he will be a top 15 quarterback. He is good enough. That's why Tom Coughlin keeps him, because he reminds him of Eli Manning. Eli Manning would never be a top 10 quarterback. Even in his age, he'll never be a top 10 quarterback. But he won 2 Super Bowl rings, and he beat the top dog to do it twice, not once but twice. So the reason why Jacksonville done turned around so good, since y'all want to know, is not because of the players, not because of Caldwell, it's because of one person, and that's Tom Coughlin. When he was there the first time, he took that team to 2 AFC championships. He left. When he left, that's when the Jaguars was having problems. When he came back, he instilled that willingness to win. That's all he's about. He is the only coach in the NFL right now that knows how to beat Belichick. He is lifetime 5-3 against Belichick. 5-3, 2-0 in the Super Bowl. If you don't believe it, look it up. He is the only coach in the NFL right now that knows exactly how to beat Belichick. Because him and Belichick
except for last year,
the Giants for Bill Parcells. They was on that Super Bowl team with the Giants, and everybody knows that. So Tom Coughlin knows exactly what makes Belichick ticks. He knows what makes him ticks. When he don't know it, when he don't know. He knows everything about Belichick. Belichick knows everything about him. They've been friends for like damn near over 30 years. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Texas is a good team. That's why I listen to y'all, because Texas is a very good team. Very good team. That's the only team in this division that I fear. And I'm not going to lie about that. That's the only team that I fear in this division. Titans, we don't fear no Titans. You talking about Titans beat us all the time? Ever since Mariota has been a quarterback, we have always split with the Titans. You said last year?
Last year.
They beat us twice because we had already wiped the division. We weren't trying to play them. We trying to worry about Buffalo. We weren't worried about the Titans. You know what I'm saying? But 2016, we broke his leg. We eliminated them. They never eliminated us. We eliminated them from the playoffs. So,
we eliminated everybody by winning the game in Week 16 against Cincinnati.
And
so y'all weren't in contention.
I'm just spitting facts, people. If you don't believe, I know you look it up. You can Google it. Google it.
I mean, what is
I'm saying? Google it.
What does any of this got to do with anything?
I'm just spitting facts.
I appreciate you calling in. You came into hostile territory. You came with your points, and that's why I say I fuck with Clarence over other Jags fans who just sit there and ride Ramsey Wood. But my deal is this, Clarence. Y'all gonna do like the Colts and hang some banners for them AFC Championship visits? I say, are y'all gonna do like the Colts and hang some banners for those AFC Championship visits?
No, we're not gonna hang up for no AFC Championship game. We not finished. It's just like Jalen Ramsey said today when he came back. He said that we're not satisfied with just winning going to the AFC Championship. Nobody should be. Nobody should be just about that. But everybody knows that everybody got to get past the Patriots. But see, we got the dude in our corner that know how to do that. Last year we was just there. We got a taste. We was young, just like Tom Copeland said on 10-10 XL. The reason why we lost because this team was young. This team they got there, they didn't know. He said when I took that giant team, he said
someone changed his diapers because he's throwing fit.
Because they had played Brady. If you look at that season, That's the season that Tom Brady went 16-0, 17-0. But see, everybody knows the last two games they played the Ravens and they played the Giants. The Ravens could have won that game, but they didn't win on the technicality, which where everybody knew that Ray Lou was mad about that game, but they still won. They played the Giants. The Giants could have won that game, but Brady threw that touchdown in the last couple of minutes. That sealed the game. So Tom Brady, like he said on 10-10XL, he said, I had my defense watched our film 100 times until they got mad. And then they got mad, they put a game plan together. And that's why the Giants beat the Patriots 17-14. Because Tom Coughlin kept putting their head. You see what happened? You see what happened when we lost? We should have won that game. You see what happened when we lost? We should have won that game. And they got mad. Michael Strahan said we got mad that whole week. We was mad that whole 2 weeks of that Super Bowl. We were pissed. So we got out there and we whooped their ass off the line, which they did. It's just like my boy said, Brady was tap dancing like the late great Gregory Hines. He was tap dancing the whole game because he didn't know where the blitz was coming from. Same thing when they beat him again. Like I say, that's the reason why the culture has changed. We don't have Bradley no more, where everything is happy go lucky.
This Giants team, the Giants is a way better team. He don't care how good you are, how much money you make, he will cut you and find somebody else to replace you. That's the mentality you got to have. Now, like I said again, Texas is the only team. How do you compare the teams when they don't have Mario Manning? Everybody else, we weren't about no Andrew Luck don't play defense. Jeremy Shockey. Andrew Luck don't have no offense line. He got one or two offensive linemen, but that ain't gonna stop if Fowler and Calais and Malik and Avery Jones and I can keep naming. We stacked on the D line. We are stacked on the D line. Contracts coming up next year. Tom Coughlin talked about that too. He said he gonna work that around. He said he might not keep everyone, but he gonna keep certain ones. Now he ain't let everybody know which one is gonna be, but he said we gonna keep certain ones. He said if we lose one, it probably be one, and everybody already assuming which one that probably gonna be. But that defensive line is stacked. We stacked to go the long haul, just like he said. We stacked for 3 to 4 years.
Calais Campbell, 33.
Like I said, y'all got to listen to 10-10XL. That's your radio station if you want the real deal. That way you can know the facts. Know the facts, man. Know the facts.
Okay, so basically you saying because so basically what you saying, because I got to get into this right now. Is he done?
Points for calling in. You know, he said he was gonna call in, so he on W called in.
Is he done?
We got the conversation. So. Oh, there's plenty of sauce to spill on that entire conversation. And I'm gonna just throw it up there, man. I'm gonna throw the alley-oop, and y'all do what y'all do, man.
Damn, Houston B.
Okay. So you just did like a 5-minute soliloquy about fucking Tom Coughlin, which he is a great coach, and I like Doug Barone too.
Real quick, hold on.
But
we got another call coming in. We're gonna take this call. We're gonna jump back on that because that's a hot topic. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling on the sauce line this evening?
What's up? You know what? Stop. This is Dr. Rabbit with some more news from the interwebs.
What you got for us, Dr. Rabbit?
Minnesota Vikings. This probably does not have anything to do with us, but the Vikings signed wide receiver Stephon Diggs a 5-year extension.
Yeah, we saw that.
There was also another article that like the Broncos think that Case Keenum could be a phenom. Now, the reason why I say this is because, well, he's pretty much from Houston. Comments on that?
Okay, I got you, man. I appreciate you calling, Dr. Red. We definitely going to talk about that. Diggs and Keenum. And like I say, let me make sure you get your sauce for calling in. I make sure Clarence gets his sauce too, man. I appreciate the call. We're gonna discuss that, man. We got a lot of hot button issues to discuss. But shout out to Dr. Rabbit, a very constant caller holding down the sauce line, man. I appreciate you calling in.
All right. Oh, and also, see the text line. I asked you. I don't know if y'all went over it already, but I asked y'all, do you think that we have a better chance of winning against the Jaguars if Marquise Lee was out?
Okay, yeah, we're gonna get on that too. That's the bet. We got plenty of Jags conversation.
I'm not worried about him at all.
So we're gonna definitely discuss that. I appreciate
Marquise Lee's pretty consistent.
All right, so we got some good hot topics. Okay, we're gonna make sure we're gonna finish up that Jags conversation, and we'll talk about Marquise Lee, and we'll talk about Case. You H-Town boy, U of H, go Cougs. You know what I'm saying? Hold it down like POP, and we'll talk about Stephon Diggs and getting paid and that whole situation. But when you were saying you were making a statement, a reply, if you will, to one clearance.
I mean, so some other facts. Since you want to bring up facts, okay. We've been in the league 7 years less than y'all, and we're 6 games ahead of y'all in our all time. We're 19 is the series is 19-13. That's number one. You haven't won a game. You haven't won a game against us since 2013. Before that, you didn't win a game against us since 2011. You know what I'm saying? So y'all have a pretty inconsistent time against playing the Texans because we own you. You can have all the accolades and talking about going to AFC championships and shit like that when you've been in the league for 22 years. I would hope in that time period you would have had that type of success. And for you to be bringing up Tom Coughlin when it comes to this situation, this Jaguars team that you guys just had is nowhere near close to the 2006 Giants. For one, they had a decent quarterback who was in for the league.
Hold that thought real quick. We got a call coming in. We're going to get this call. We're going to make sure we address all that stuff. We're going to get on all that. What's the motherfucking deal we got calling on the sauce line this evening?
We got a stacked D-line. We got J.J. Watt. We got Conley. We got a bunch of people. I'm not going to name because I can't.
Who's this calling in first?
Hashtag catbacks.
Who is this calling in?
Shout out to Voodoo Child, man.
Oh shit. Oh,
you're doing a nice parody.
Giving a Clarence parody there. Shout out to Voodoo Child, man. Oh man, but you were saying about comparing them to the Giants, and where were you at on that, man?
Yeah, they're nowhere near the Giants. They had Mario Manningham, they had Victor Cruz, they had Jeremy Shockey. And we're talking about they had Michael Strahan, they had JPP, and both of those Super Bowls. I mean, and you had so many. You had Justin Tuck. You know what I'm saying? You had so many. Like this Jaguars team can't even compare to that Giants team that won against the Patriots. For one, y'all don't have a quarterback. Y'all got the running game. That's about it. Your receiving weapons are nowhere near. Y'all ain't had no Plaxico Burress or no guys like that. Y'all don't have nobody who's even close to anybody that I just named in either Super Bowl that they won against the Patriots. That's number two. How do you get to sit here and say, because the cap situation is going to be like this. You already paid Malik Jefferson. You already paid him over $90 million a couple years ago, which he wasn't worth from the get-go. So now y'all going to be able to, y'all got Taven Bryan or something like that, a nice young talent, because y'all already get ready to replace old buddy. You know what I'm saying? Y'all done brought in, y'all got a great defense from top to bottom. I love Yannick Ngakoue, Telvin Smith, all of these guys.
Sauceline jumping this evening. Okay, look at
yeah. Because they ready to call in.
All right, what's the motherfucking deal? Who we got on the Sauceline this evening?
Man, it's that number one shit talker, Tenny.
Already. What's the motherfucking
Go
deal?
ahead, get him, Tenny.
What you got to say? What kind of sauce you got to spill on the Sauceline tonight, Tenny?
Man, I just got to spill this real quick. When I was listening to that Jags fan talk, all I heard was, I've been tweeting this for the last 4 years. But we've been to more AFC championship games than y'all. But we ain't never won a Super Bowl. That's all I heard.
Oh my God. Man, I feel you on that one, Titty, man. Hi, man, Titty,
but I want to give a shout out. What's up?
And I was asking how the tacos came out, man.
They came out pretty good, man. They came out pretty good. Everything.
Tenny taco update. Who you want to say? You want to give a shout out?
Yeah, man, I want to shout out the entire roundtable, man. Y'all holding it down tonight. It is so live right now. I'm going back to the chat. Keep it going, guys.
All right, man.
All right, shout out, Tenny.
We're bearable. We are bearable.
Yeah, we're bearable over here.
Not according to Clarence.
Clarence is unbearable. Very unbearable.
And Clarence is still talking about we giving opinions. No, these are facts is what I'm talking about. That team can't get this Jaguars team y'all just had cannot contend with the Giants in 2006 or in 2011. That's facts. You don't have the quarterback. He was the coach coaching the team. He's the GM of this team. So he's not coached. This Jaguars team is not coached by Tom Coughlin. They're being GM'd. They're being managed by Tom Coughlin. Yeah, Doug Marrone is a great coach too. But he has his own imprint, and he gets to work with Tom Coughlin. And at the end of the day, y'all already came up short against fucking Tom Brady in this past season. So for you to be sitting here talking about, we ain't talking about what Coughlin did with the Giants. We're talking about what he's doing with the Jaguars. Not now, but right now. What about that? Okay, you lost. You was at home watching them playing the Super Bowl, and you're going to end up doing that as long as Blake Bortles is the quarterback, period. Somebody else can go, please. Y'all go ahead, y'all smash them, because I'm tired.
I mean, Wink just had everything we had to say.
Yeah, I mean, he want to say that the Jaguars are young. That defense is not young, to be honest. I mean, AJ Bouye is a veteran at this point in his career.
Exactly.
Calais Campbell is old, 33 years old. Malik Jackson has already won a Super Bowl in the Broncos. I mean, you could just go all the way down the roster. Even didn't they have Paul Polonowski last season as well?
Paul Pusluzny.
He retired. Yeah. They didn't lost him, so
yeah, but he was there last season, so that's not an excuse to be young. And Blake Bortles, you can't call him young anymore. He's been in the league too damn long to play 80-something games. So I don't want to hear the young excuse. The Texans are younger than the Jaguars if you want to make that a case.
Exactly.
Give me a sec. We get a little bit of static. You see, It's always right about that hour and a half mark. For some reason, you know what I'm saying. We start getting some shenanigans going.
Good stuff on us.
Hold on, let's see.
Oh no, please don't.
Man, we were being too bearable for them guys.
We still should be. We just probably got a little bit of.
Oh, okay, yeah, there you go. There we go.
I think we should.
There we go.
Getting back in action. Just give me some shenanigans. Let me. I might have to pull over and switch it over real quick. Let's see where we're at. Make sure I'm on the right shit anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. While I respect him for calling in and he's talking about some history, he's trying to give somebody a history lesson, and all of those things that the Jaguars
think, so it may not be maybe tuning out a little bit. Okay, now we good to go.
Accomplished, which ain't much in the community. And to not practice, do you know how many people on our team's houses and shit like that got flooded last year? Like, you don't know that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things that this team had to do. It was lives they had to take care of before they could even get on a football field. And because they were unprepared, and we give you all the credit for what y'all did, because y'all did what y'all were supposed to do, and us being in the positions we were in.
All right, we can just pause. Clarence, when we talk, so when y'all call, y'all can't hear our reactions. But just know, if y'all talking smack about it, I say we're going to react and answer back. It's just that as of right now, we're working on it. Y'all can't hear us.
Yeah.
Wink was talking back to you. So don't just say Wink wasn't talking back to you and wait till while you...
Yeah, I was talking the whole time, Clarence. The whole time while you were talking, I was talking points. But we have some stuff with the audio the way it's not patched in to where the callers can hear us on the round table speaking, because if that was the case, we would have been having dialogue the entire time, and I could have refuted all your points, and this wouldn't even be a conversation right now. But to sit here and act like the second time y'all played us, we were completely depleted. Like, the fact you can't even just be like, you're happy about beating you went 30-9 against a completely defeated and depleted roster. We were already out of any contention to do anything, and losing Deshaun Watson was the most hurtful thing that could have happened to this football team last year. You didn't even when you can face a fully healthy Texans team and beat them, then you'll have my respect. Until then, you know what you can kiss.
All right, so we're gonna address some of the other questions, some of the other topics that were called in. We ain't gonna neglect everybody else. I know Clarence got us fired up, got us wired up. So we definitely anticipating that Jags matchup. You know, even more so now. Case Keenum. The comment was that Case Keenum could be a phenom. I tried to make it work. It didn't work. It fell through. You know, I'll be doing the corny shit. Don't hate. So sorry. Don't give me a meh. I'll take it. I'll take a meh.
I will make the tinny noise.
Hey, shout out to Titty for that shit.
Titty,
everybody called. I have delivered sauce. I gotta get the sauce for all the text messages. So make sure, again, like I said, if you don't text regularly, or if you haven't sent your name prior to, then like I said, I know Brooks got a good comment. I got you, and there's a couple other y'all who I have y'all sauce in. But again, like I said, if you just kind of text and you haven't sent your name in, make sure you send your screen name in so I can get you your sauce. Keenum in the Denver uniform. You know, former U of H guy. He was a former Texan, so he's definitely very relevant. And we saw him. We can't lie. Was it that when he was a Texan, was it that we were just so tired of Schaub that we were just willing to accept anything, or was it that he actually, you know, looked halfway decent? We know Kubiak didn't have any support behind Keenum because he really wanted to keep Schaub on the field. I mean, until he almost, literally died off the motherfucking shit to get him a spot to play. But is Keenum truly talented? I mean, he's bounced around. He's seen a little success here, a little success there. Do you think it's
realistic
that he can see some shine with the Broncos?
He has regular. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Keenum is a short-term answer to a long-term problem with the Broncos. He's not their answer to quarterback. Obviously, they're hoping that one of these young quarterbacks are going to pan out, but Keenum is serviceable. I mean, we saw what Keenum can do. He has one hell of a good deep throw. I mean, he's not terrible, but I'm not going to sit here and say that he's a phenom. I think the reason why the Texans fans wanted to see him was we were tired of seeing Schaub throwing picks and causing us to have the record for most pick sixes consecutively. The other thing was that he's the hometown kid. Everybody wanted to see the dude that wrecked it at played good at U of H, and then come to be in a Texans uniform and do it over here. But obviously, it wasn't a good fit with Kubiak's offense, in my opinion. And then we saw him come back when Bill O'Brien needed him, when we got a ton of quarterbacks get hurt again, and he actually looked pretty serviceable. But I think that's what Keenum is. And I think that's nothing wrong with that. I think he is a serviceable quarterback.
Okay. Any other thoughts on Keenum?
I want to say he's a good regular season quarterback, but that's just about it. When it's big time moments, he's a player that cannot step up. I watched it at U of H. They had the chance to go to the national get into one of the great bowl games. All they had to do was beat Southern Miss to win the Conference USA championship there, and he had all the passing records in the NCAA, all-time records and all this stuff. But when it came to that Conference USA championship game against Southern Miss, guess what happened? He folded. What happened last season in the NFC Championship game against the Eagles? He folded. So this is a guy, when it's time for big-time moments, he just doesn't excel. But during the regular season, he's like Peyton Manning. Now, I wouldn't even say he Peyton Manning in the regular season. I'm just making that analogy.
With Case, I'm willing to give him some credit. I mean, he was able to do some things. I kind of disagree with what Wise just said a little bit. I mean, I think he was serviceable enough, and honestly, he wasn't the reason we were really losing games when he was here, with the exception of the Chiefs game, the Cardinals game, maybe the Oakland game. I won't even truly say the Oakland game, but it was a couple of games that he kept us close. I mean, we weren't really losing any games. We suffered no blowouts the whole time while he was a quarterback here, and he was an exciting player. He gave us something that Schaub couldn't give us. Even though he was on that play action on that bootleg, he had some ability. He was putting the ball down the field. He reinvigorated Andre Johnson. He had a connection with Andre Johnson off the cuff, especially when we watched that Colts game when Kubiak collapsed. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, he was performing. He had some great performances with us. He just wasn't able to edge it out. And then in the following season, we get him. We bring him in, and he's winning us games to close out the season and go 9-7. So I'm not willing to call his time here a complete wash, but I don't think that he's fooling anybody with his play. But I think he is talented. I think he's progressed his skill set, but I don't think he's going to set the world on fire. But he will end up having some good plays, and his connection with Demaryius Thomas and
Emmanuel Sanders
should be pretty good.
Okay. Another question came in on the sauce line, and that question was that where do you see the Texans after the first 5 games? I need to pull up the schedule and double check because I remember we had kind of went over.
Yeah, we did.
But personally, I mean, what do you guys see? When we're just calling quickly, even not referencing anything. What do you see the Texans after the first 5 games?
I just need to see the schedule real quick, and I'll be able to tell you. At least I'll tell you my thoughts. I'm
All
sure
right.
everybody else wants to tell you.
But okay, let me answer that. The first game we play against the Patriots, of course.
Mm-hmm.
We will win that game, no matter if it's here or there. We'll win it. I feel like it has potential to be a shootout, or our defense just stops Brady completely because he has no options again in that game. I forgot we played second week. Third week we played the Giants.
Titans the second week.
Okay, we got Titans second week.
Titans, Giants, Colts, and Cowboys. Cowboys is week 5.
If the Colts game is away, we're 4-1.
That's what I was gonna say.
I'm not, okay.
I said we're going 4-1 in the first 5 games.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 4-1 too.
I'd say on the downside of that, the worst we could be 3-2. That's the worst. But 4-1 is judging by what I've seen and what we got going on now. Honestly, I believe the only team that we lose to in that time period potentially could be the Giants.
Now, if Marcus Mariota gets injured, it's 5-0. Just saying.
Somebody texted on Southline asking, Wink, are you going to take Clarence up on the $50 bet?
What $50 bet for the game?
Yeah, he bet somewhere up in this.
Shit, I'll do better than that. I'll put $150 on that game. Where's money at?
Okay.
Trust me, I got it.
On the game or on the series as a whole?
It don't matter which one he want to do. We can double up if you want to do the series.
Okay.
We can double up, so we can go ahead and we'll see where your heart and your soul at when it come to that.
Pritchard said you got to get 10 minutes for his.
You tell me what you want to do.
Okay.
I got time and money.
Okay.
Hey, Wink, bro. Hey, just go ahead and cash me out. $20 of that $150.
You let me know what you want to do, and when you figure it out, and when you find out what you ready to spend when it comes to that game, holler at me.
This question came in on Southline. Says, question for Wink. Any concern with Watson? Some reporters are saying he's throwing more interceptions than last season in training camp.
Says who?
I never heard that.
He threw one interception. He threw one interception the other day. Well, 2 if we count the 2 that he got on Kevin Johnson in consecutive days. And I'm only completely sure about 1. Outside of that, I wasn't sure on the other one that Deshaun Watson was even the quarterback. So I've only heard about 2 interceptions on plenty of touchdowns that I've seen thrown personally, and we all have the tape and the clips to prove that. And his footwork and everything else is mechanically, and his receiving options have been stellar in camp thus far. And if everybody's been following right, who's to believe that he's been throwing interceptions against the options in camp? It's early right now. I'm not saying he won't throw any interceptions, but I can almost guarantee you he's making a lot smarter decisions. And punk out against who? Hey, Zachariah, you must don't know me well, dude. Clarence. I don't have to back out. No, you don't know me that well.
Clarence just called your 150 and raised it to 200
on the first game.
Let's get it then.
Okay.
200. Trust me. Make sure you have your money. I don't want to hear no excuses either.
Okay.
I don't want to hear no excuses either.
Hey, and like I said, Rain at 20 to 40. I'm just joking.
Let me borrow. All right.
Get your Cash App. You got Navy Federal. Make sure you go ahead and wire it to my account.
All right. Let's see. We got a couple other text messages. One, we were talking about young quarterbacks in the league. Someone questions how successful do you think Patrick Mahomes will be this season versus Watson's success? Shout out to Josh Cooper.
Versus Watson?
Yeah. Who will be the more successful of the two young quarterbacks this season?
Watson.
I just got third place in solo.
I'm sorry to my boy Spitz, but Watson. And I thought Spitz was asking that question too, to be truthful.
What was the question again? My bad.
It said compared to Watson, basically comparing Watson and Mahomes, who will have the better season this year?
I mean,
Watson, but they should both have some great seasons. I mean, Patrick Mahomes doesn't have any excuses not to play well right off the cuff, if we're being realistic.
Yeah, he don't have any excuses because he plays with Andy Reid and the Andy Reid offense that runs a lot of screens where he do a lot of drop-off passes and things like that. But this guy hasn't played an NFL game. I mean, he started one NFL game, so you can't really compare him to Watson yet. So, I don't know. I just think Watson going to have a better season because Watson is a better and more sound quarterback than Patty Mahomes. And we played him week 1 in the preseason, so we'll see how he's doing.
We'll see how both of them are looking. Or at least briefly, we'll get to see a drive or two, and see what they are working with.
Patrick Mahomes should be exciting. Him and Tyreek Hill and Kelsey should be an exciting. And then he does have Sammy Watkins. And if Sammy Watkins can finally probably be able to show his worth and being proven that he can be still a deep threat with Andy Reid. And I think that's a major reason why he brought him there, because he likes those type of receivers. And if we can look at what he's done with Tyreek Hill thus far and Kelsey, I see no reason why Sammy Watkins, barring Hill, that this should be his best season ever.
Okay. I got a couple of texts, man. We're gonna change the conversation a little bit. First, we're gonna take this Chandler comment. It says these Jaguar fans are really talking mess, and to be honest, they're way worse than the Cowboys fans. But really, the Jaguar fans are terrible with stats. It's Chandler. Shout out to Chandler. Make sure Chandler get their love. And we're gonna switch subjects. I agree with you on that. These Jaguar fans, they get 1 year of a semblance of success, and then they take the shit and run with it. If I saw some consistency, really had something to build on, then I'd start talking trash. But 1 year wonders, they get their little shine too.
Hey, I'm sorry to stop this real quick, but Clarence said he got 40 on the Patriots. Anybody?
I'll do that. I'll take that.
I'll take the 40 on the Patriots game.
I'll take that.
Man, we basically go all the way around. I mean, if you want to pony up,
Heidi got a line. Heidi got a line for that one.
Heidi
got a line for that one.
The Patriots, they're already talking about the Patriots looking dusty in training camp right now. So, I mean, it don't matter. It's practice, but usually the Patriots start off slow every season. So,
just
I mean,
we'll take it. But it says, let's talk a little bit of Rockets talk, man. We got a couple of texts in on the Rockets, and I don't want to keep everybody on who've been asking some Rockets questions. I know y'all have some things that y'all are inquiring about, and so we'll get on a couple of those points. I wanted to actually, it was a question that Jay Dizzle asked yesterday, right when the stream was going off. So we'll throw this one up for the roundtable, then we'll get to these Rockets questions. I said I was going to get into this. Who is, in your opinion, now I'm definitely biased on this, so I think y'all know who I'm going to say. Who is, in your opinion, the most clutch shooter in the history of the NBA playoffs?
Robert Horry. Hands down, he's won 8 championships on 3 separate teams.
Anybody else have an opinion on that?
Horry.
Yeah, that's not even. I mean, it's not even a competition.
They don't call him Big Shot Bob for nothing. They don't call him Big Shot Bob for nothing.
That boy.
He don't do nothing else but make big shots.
His boy rings look like 6ix9ine hair and shit. All the different colors and the variety he got. Shit, he got them from multiple teams.
Two more rings, bro. He'd have had a full set of both hands.
I see some folks saying Ray is solid, but I think Bob did it across a few more teams. You know what I'm saying?
He did it with the Rockets. He did it with San Antonio and the Lakers. He got 8 championships because of it.
And Ray Allen got 2 rings.
All in the Wild Wild West. So you know.
Yeah, all in the Wild Wild West.
So there's that. Like I said, we got a couple of Rockets questions. So one of these is let me sure. Look, I'm mixing them. Make sure I ain't missing nothing. This one says, all I gotta say, Honcho, is if I saw Eric Gordon drive in and get slammed. Oh, that was from yesterday. I'm sorry. No, hold on. That was fucking national media. My bad. That was old. Because I saw another Gordon comment today. I thought. Let me make sure I get that. That's Mr. Watson. Let me see. What do you think about the Rockets being in talks for Kent Bazemore and other teams for Anderson's contract? I'm praying at night, you know, to the basketball gods that, you know, hey, y'all got us for CP3. He made the sacrifice. The least y'all could do is pay us back by getting rid of that contract. That's the very least y'all could do. Anybody else have opinions on that and the possibility of that shaking? Because I've heard a couple of different conversations about, and I know Bray mentioned early on at the beginning of the stream, and I know some folks may have missed it, kind of some input on that whole situation with Ryan Anderson.
I know that Ryan Anderson has been a failure.
I mean, me and Bray been telling y'all this for so long, man. I mean, it's getting old now. We've been telling y'all these same trade scenarios for so long. We've been talking about the same situations every day. We've been saying Kent Bazemore. We've been saying Jimmy Butler. We've been saying all these names, and I mean, it's been coming true, and it comes out on the media like a week later. So I don't know if y'all trust the national media, if y'all trust Saw Sports. If y'all trust Saw Sports, subscribe to Saw Sports, follow Saw Sports on Twitter, and y'all get the news more faster. That's all I'm saying. I ain't answering no Rockets questions that we already answer every single day on the same stream every night.
And not to toot our own horns, but Braden broke the news that Trevor Williams, the cornerback behind Jason Verrett, he broke that news before it even hit ESPN and NFL Network.
Yep.
And that was hours ago.
Hey, bro, that was funny though. You know, I'm just saying that the moment was funny. It's a backstory, but yeah. Hey, and just say about the Chargers, I know this little off subject. The Chargers were one of the most Super Bowl, you know, unpredicted teams. They're going nowhere with that team. They're just too hurt.
Yeah, they might go 8-8, 9-7 now.
Yeah, they just fucking all in practice.
Yeah.
Let me see. Had a couple other ones come in. Let's see. Okay. Says, who's better in the playoffs? CP3 or Harden? Shout out to Zachariah.
I think by default you have to say Harden because he's done more on two separate teams. I mean, he's been to a finals with OKC. He's been to 2 Western Conference championships, and he's going to the playoffs with just about every year he's been here. So obviously, he has the better record. But in terms of what they both do on the impact, I say on this team, Chris Paul is more impactful.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to disagree with Wink. Chris Paul has done way more, has been more clutcher, has carried his team a little bit more than Harden has over his career.
But that wasn't the question.
In the playoffs, Chris Paul is better than James Harden. I'm sorry.
But Chris Paul hasn't gone as far as James Harden has.
And Harden walked over Paul in the process a couple of times.
And Chris Paul always hurt in the playoffs.
All right. Stop.
No, that's true.
Right.
That's true.
No, you got a right to your
That's
opinion.
true.
No, you ain't got to switch it up. That's what you believe, man. You ain't got to switch it up.
No. Listen here. James Harden is my favorite player in the NBA. Love him. Best player in the NBA to me. I don't care. But I haven't seen Harden make a big shot in the playoffs.
You sure on that one?
I have never seen him make a big shot. Chris Paul carried us to the conference finals in that final game against Utah. Right? Chris Paul had a game-winning shot on one hamstring. He messed up his hamstring, still played the rest of that game, and he had a buzz beat against the San Antonio Spurs. We still had Tim Duncan, which Tim Duncan was actually playable, and was actually a piece in the Spurs.
Well, I'm not sure if you heard me, Braylon. I did say the operative word. I said he was more impactful. Yeah. I said that. I said that. I said he was more impactful this year. I said that. Nobody can omit that fact. We all know.
Yeah, you said this year, but I'm saying throughout his career in playoffs and over Harden's career in playoffs, CP3 has done more, but not accomplished more than Harden.
Harden beat San Antonio so that OKC could have went to the finals that year. He dominated San Antonio. I don't know if you remember that. That's when he made his big splash. And then he went ghost in the finals, but he balled out in that Western Conference Finals and got them to the finals.
But I'm just saying, I've not seen Harden make a big shot when it mattered and when it counted in the playoffs. Harden perfectly in the NBA, and I don't change any of that. So.
Okay. Let me make sure I'm getting everybody's points across. Dr. Rabbit, I see your comment. Don't do that. That's funny as shit, but don't do that.
I still don't think CP3 wins game 6 and 7 without Harden, or Harden wins game 6 or 7 by himself either. I mean, they need each other.
Yeah, they do.
I agree, because you got to look at what CP3 has had some very talented teams around him that just kind of feel. He had Blake Griffin, he had
DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah, DeAndre Jordan.
I mean, Blake Griffin was always hurt in the playoffs though too.
Hands down, the best tandem. If we're talking about top 2 players who get to play with each other in the league, no other team had a better combination, better chemistry than Chris Paul and James Harden last year. And I don't think, and that's evident by going 40 and 5. 70. I mean, he's never impacted any team the way that he impacted the Houston Rockets this past season. And that's not going to go away either.
All right, so here's one last comment. It was some. I appreciate everybody who has called in and hit up the Sauce line, texted in. We're gonna get ready to wrap it up, but I got one more comment that I saw early on in the stream, and so I jotted that down because I wanted to bring that up at the end. We were talking about the Jermaine Kelly Jr. kid. Somebody mentioned that he's in a similar situation to what could possibly be another A.J. Bouye. Do you see this being possible, or do you disagree? I'd like to get your thoughts on that, and then we'll wrap it up after that.
If that's the case, then that means he needs to play 4 years plus in order to be an A.J. Bouye role type. I mean, it took time for A.J. Bouye to get where he is. Like, A.J. Bouye took 4 years of being a special teams player, coming in and playing after guys like Allen Ball and a hurt Jonathan Joseph and a hurt Kareem Jackson and several players, that have rotated in and out of the secondary over the last few years. And, he got us just due in 2016, became a phenomenal player, went on to the division rival to maintain his status as a great cornerback. So it's just going to take some time to develop this man, but hopefully he catches on quicker, and if he commits himself, he can be better than A.J. Bouye.
I agree with the point that he could become an A.J. Bouye player, coming late round, undrafted type player, surprising you and just being one of the better cornerbacks in the league. I kind of disagree with Wink on the time period, just because A.J. Bouye missed a lot of time with injuries. So I'm just saying, without injuries, A.J. Bouye would have been dominant faster than he was. So if Jermaine Kelly's healthy, it will take him 2 years. If it'll take two and a half, and 3. Not 4.
I remember when A.J. Bouye was coming in and getting beat at first. Yeah. He took a lot of L's at first before he got, like, it took him a long time to get where he's at, like Wink said. Yeah. So I gotta agree with what Wink said. It's gonna take Jermaine Kelly some time. He's gonna have to gain experience. He's gonna have to, like I said earlier, he's gonna have to get acclimated to this defense. He's gonna have to know all the schemes. He's gonna have to know all the looks and all these things. So with cornerbacks, it takes time, especially cornerbacks that's drafted with potential. not based off of pure skill.
Yeah, and to add on kind of what the Wise are saying, like it's going to take, in order for him to develop a whole lot faster, it's going to take injuries and an emphasis on injuries. Like a lot of guys are going to have to be hurt for him to play, or if they just want to spell him, or if they feel that a position group is getting a little weaker and they wanted to elevate somebody and put them in another position and change them. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things that could end up happening, but it's going to take a lot longer. And I'm saying the benefit of 4 years because we don't, I mean, depending on what happens in off seasons and just depending on what happens during seasons, it's just going to take that amount of time. I think 3 to 4 years is a substantial amount of time for a player that young to learn at the pro level.
Okay. And so we're gonna wrap it up, but I know Zach wants to get his little comment in, and we'll make it quick. Everybody just, we'll address it.
What is he talking about now?
Take the time. This is for the whole round table. Can y'all tell me who the hell is gonna stop Zeke?
Jadeveon Clowney, Whitney Merciless,
Benardrick
McKinney, Zach Cunningham, Dylan Cole,
Tyrann Mathieu,
the whole fucking front seven, Brian Dunn, Joe Heath, Brennan Scarlett. These guys are gonna be able to say he doesn't stand a chance.
Do I have to say anything about this? Because they didn't say everything for me.
I don't know.
The Texans defense will stop Zeke. We're not worried about it. That's basically the point.
I don't know if he even in the down year last year, we still had a top 10 pass rush defense, and that was with abysmal coaching and a depleted roster, and we still finished 9th or 10th in the league. Come on, man. We're not saying no Ezekiel Elliott with a fully healthy team.
Bryant going? I said the wrong name because y'all hate Dez Bryant. I messed it up way bad. They hate Dez Bryant now. But who is Dak Prescott going to throw to with his inaccurate ass?
And who's going to run block? And who's going to run block for him? What tight end y'all got? What receivers y'all got who going to be able to run block for him to keep these corners and safeties off his ass? You tell me that.
And not only that, Dak Prescott lost to Derek Carr.
Who?
In accuracy.
Who are these names you're listing, Zach? I don't know. I don't even know what that means. Like, this is like you just
Cole Beasley is trash. Cole Beasley is not only trash, but he's light in the ass. Like, he's so small. Like, bro, he can't block anybody defensively on this team. Motherfuckers will muscle the fuck out of that little nigga. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Terrence Williams. He sucks. Allen Hurns, bro, we've been beasting against Allen Hurns. I don't know if you realize, but Allen Hurns came from the Jaguars. We've been dominating against his ass for years, and Clarence knows that. Like, Clarence, call back in, and if you're a real man, and if you're the fan that I think you are because you were able to give credit, you call back in and you tell Allen Hurns that, yeah, honestly, I don't even, like, the Jaguars wasn't even worried about losing Allen Hurns. And to be honest, it wasn't no big loss for him because he wasn't a huge contributor besides his 2015 season. Anyway, who the fuck is Allen Hurns? Tell me, sir.
So, all right. So we finna go ahead and wind down. But Clarence called you out to one more game of Madden. He say, if you want to put it on stream for everyone to see and say how it worked out for you last time.
Yeah, bro. That was a few weeks ago when I hadn't played in over 90 days. I done got my feet wet again. We'll see what you're talking about in just a second.
Okay, yeah. Let me know if y'all gonna put that on the mixer. Actually, you know what I'm saying?
I'll go ahead and I'll do that. Matter of fact, Honcho, I need that thing again when you showed me how I'm supposed to stream and do all. But you know what? I can't stream in this damn hotel. Every time I try to broadcast in this hotel, the shit gets super laggy. Yeah. And all that little shit like that. But I'm a man of my word. He beat me the last 2 times. You know what I'm saying? He beat me. He beat
Little City, Massachusetts.
Yeah. This shit where I'm at right now. I mean, the internet connection and shit is pretty good. But like if I try to stream, that shit gonna go to shit real fast. Okay. But one question I got for Clarence. Be real. Tell this boy, hey, you right. Allen Hurns was garbage, bro. That's all I gotta say right there. This from the Jaguars fans who know his shit. And I can't give Clarence his points because he did make some solid points. You know what I'm saying? He made some solid points. A lot of the shit I can't really argue with, but I can make points, and we can also go by our own recent history. And you guys don't beat us that often. I mean, so we're just going to keep going and keep continuing this process. I think we'll end up having this. It'll probably end up being 21, 13 or 20-14 this year. Y'all might win a game against us this year, but we'll see.
I think our biggest opponent is health. That's my biggest concern. Is that we stay
absolutely.
Healthy.
Outside a healthy Texans team, y'all can't. I'm gonna just go ahead and say it because I have no reason to lie to you. A healthy Texans team smashes y'all.
And on that note, we're finna call it out. But first, I want to say thank y'all to all the fresh motherfucking ingredients. I want to say I appreciate everybody who came through and held it down for the 2 hours and some change, even through the little laps we had. Y'all bounced back, came back, and jumped back in the mix. So I appreciate all that. Again, we're gonna be back at it. Like I say, every night that there's some training camp action, we will be in the mix. We will be talking Texans. Like I said, got a lot of good stuff coming up for y'all, so make sure y'all stay tuned. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Make sure y'all hit that notification button. Make sure you are following all these guys' channels. The links have been going through the chat the entire time. It's in my featured channels. This is also in the description. So if you're sitting here talking about how do I find them? You're just being lazy in the motherfucker. I know some of y'all got some illiteracy problems, but it's all good. We still love y'all, man. All you gotta do is hit the description, hit the featured channels, and pay attention to
I'm not hyping. What the fuck is Ed Man talking about? I'm not hyping up nobody. Who am I hyping up? I just said a healthy Texas team smashes the Jaguars. What? Have you not been listening?
Yeah, man. I think Ed Man just got in the damn chat. He done missed everything out there.
Yeah, he done missed everything. He don't know what. That's his fault.
Yeah, but with that being said, man, like I said, I appreciate y'all for taking the time to fuck with us because time is the most essential asset that you can ever have, and the fact that y'all spending stirring up with the sauce and the round table, man, we sincerely appreciate it, man. Tell a friend, tell a buddy. If you really love somebody, let them know about the sauce if you really give a fuck about them. With that being said, chuck it up the deuce. I appreciate the round table. Shout out to everybody in the round table for holding it down. But with that being said, we out, man. Y'all
one thing. One thing.
Yo.
Tomorrow is the MLS All-Star game. Houston Dynamo player Albert Feliz will be representing Houston, so he'll be going up against Italian Giants Juventus that has Cristiano Ronaldo. So
just shout out to him.
Okay, my fault. I forgot. I sure forgot about that. Apologize about that, Hector, because you did say that I want to speak on that, so I did slip my mind. So I'm glad you said that. But with that, Girl Scout cookies, man, hit that hoe 2 times for your boy, and we out.